Kathy.
Well, good evening, Mayor Currin. How are you doing?
I am doing great. How about you?
Trying to beat this heat.
I
95
know.
today.
I know. Well,
Insane.
it is the middle of the summer, right?
I
Middle of
know.
July. So, how's your summer been so far?
It's been wonderful. Have the kids home from college. So just enjoying family time. Went on vacation to Hawaii. So I
Wow.
cannot complain. How about yourself?
Yeah, no trips to Hawaii, but I'm sure you enjoyed that, except for maybe the long flight. I think it's a long flight out there, right?
It is
So,
a long flight, but you know what? I am not going to complain. That's the only downfall to Hawaii. I recommend that anybody who hasn't been should definitely put it on their bucket list. It is a trip of a lifetime for sure.
yeah, we'll leave out tomorrow afternoon for a weekend trip up to Boone. My daughter lives up there, so we get to keep the little 18th month old as they go out on the town this weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's a little bit cooler up there. It's not quite as hot as it is down here. So a
Just
little
thinking
break from
that.
heat. But
Well, how exciting. 18-month-olds are probably walking around, getting into all sorts of stuff.
she is a dynamite, I tell you that. And we always enjoy spending time with her. We try to get up there once a month. So and she grows a lot between the trips. I'll tell you, you wouldn't believe how quick they do grow up. So she
Yeah.
changes every time we go up there. She's different. She changes a little bit, but we're excited about that. But it's a lot of things going on here in Rolesville. I mean, you don't have to leave town to be. You don't have to go to Hawaii to have fun.
That's for sure. We just had our Rolesville Business Expo. It was our second annual event, and that was a great turnout. I think we had about 30 vendors, lots of families coming through to visit vendors, and just a great time had by all. Mitchell Heating and Cooling was our big sponsor. Kona Ice was out there giving out, some refreshments because it was a hot day that day. So just a really, really good time, and we're looking forward to doing that again next year.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I went up there and I spent a couple of hours. I didn't expect. I went at lunchtime. I didn't expect to stay that long, but just passing through, talking to everybody. It was a good. It was really a good event. Had a lot of good vendors. Some people I hadn't even met before. Some new type businesses and things that's with the chamber now.
Yes, well,
I
that's
know you
good.
guys are growing.
Yes, yes, we are. And then the town just had July 4th fireworks, right? So very exciting, celebrating America's birthday. And
Yeah.
I heard that was a great turnout, wonderful event for the town.
It was. It was. We had the what is the name of the band? Liquid Pleasure, I think, and they've been around for a long time, 50 years, I understand.
Wow.
So they've been around for a long time. They did a really good job. It was a little bit hot to start with, so I got there probably about 5:15, 5:30, and between there and seven, I mean, it was kind of brutal. It was a hot day, but once the sun started getting behind the trees and it cooled down a little bit, it was a great time. And the fireworks show was spectacular. Um, for the fee you have to pay to go to the fireworks show, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
I
They
think some of our competitor towns they actually charge to go.
Oh wow! Well, I know I saw the fireworks myself, and they were fabulous. It's Roseville puts on one of the best fireworks shows that I've been to in any community in this area. So definitely well done.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it, and it's a lot of other things going on too. I think they've had a couple of movies in the park type things. So it is a lot to. It's a lot. Just about every weekend there's something to do.
Yeah, and Cobblestone is just moving right along, making lots of progress there. I'm very excited for the unveiling of all the new businesses and homes that are going to be going into that space. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah, it is, and it's quite a few businesses already talking about opening up there. And every Saturday morning you have something to do because
Oh,
we'll
good.
talk to Sherry in a little bit about the farmers market, but and she's really got a lot of great things going on there. A lot of even had the radio show to come out. and we'll talk to her a little bit about that. But if you need something to do on Saturday morning, every Saturday morning they're out there, unless it's raining real bad. Sometimes when it's raining, you'll see them out there. But
Yeah, I mean, they're tough. They weather through. I mean, unless it's dangerous, they're
that's right.
definitely out there. But yeah, the Rolesville Farmers Market and Sherry, that's a staple every Saturday morning in Rolesville. So agreed. That's if people out there who are listening haven't visited the farmers market every Saturday from 9 to 1, they should check it out. It's right beside Sonic, in the open field across from the elementary school.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think we could go on and on. You got anything else you want to?
Well, I would just like to introduce our first guest. We've got two wonderful guests today. Barbara Timmons is with us from the Optimist Club, and then we have Sherry Bauer that is here through the Backpack Buddies. So I just wanted to introduce Barbara, tell a little bit about her. So Barbara, born and raised in Rolesville, and lived in Rolesville her entire life. So that is an accolade in itself. She has been a member of Optimist International since 1995, and she was part of opening up their Northern Wake Optimist Club here locally in 2012. And what they're all about is childhood cancer and illnesses. So I'd love to bring Barbara onto the show.
It would be good to have her. I've been knowing Barbara for a long time, probably 20 years, and we'll talk about that. I'm not exactly sure how long I've known Barbara. I knew Barbara when the town was small, so that's how far we go back. But welcome, Barbara. Good to have you on the show. I think
Thanks for the introduction.
You are so welcome. Enjoy the show, Barbara.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how far we go back, Barbara. I know. You taught Sunday school. I taught Sunday school. We had this little comrade with us named Mike that taught with us some, and we switched classes. Did all sort of things back then, didn't we?
Yes, we did. But what stands out about me knowing you, Ronnie, is one afternoon somebody knocked on my back door, and he introduced himself, and it was you, and running for commissioner. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it had to be 22 years ago, probably.
Yes, and I was impressed you did that.
That was my hair was a different color back then, right?
That's right.
And I probably had the little Cameron with me, little guy.
Yeah,
he's 28 now. He's pretty old, but yeah, that's a lot of memories that goes back that far. And I think,
absolutely.
I think. Back then the town wasn't that big. It wasn't. You could. I'm pretty sure you knew just about everybody in town, and when somebody new came to town, you got to know them pretty quick.
Well, here's the deal. When I planned to go to the grocery store, I'd stay. I'd eliminate 2 or 3 hours so that while I was going through the grocery store getting my groceries, I could visit with everybody that was there. Because you knew everybody.
Yeah, was that Vernon's old grocery store you're talking about? Or?
No, I'm talking about the food line.
Talking about the food line?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure you remember Vernon had a grocery store, a hardware store here.
Went up there quite a bit too.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as big as Food Line, but people went there all the time. And I want to kind of introduce yourself. I know we had a really good introduction there, Barbara. But it may be some things that you want to add. I think like we said, you lived here all your life, but I do believe you left for college for a little while.
Yes.
And then decided to come back. A lot of people, they go to college and they don't come back. And you decided to come back. So what made that different for you?
Well, family. You got to be around your family. It takes a lot of people to keep things going in your life. And this is where my roots were. This is where I was familiar with things. And so this is where I wanted to be. I always will be, want to be here. Rolesville is just, to me, it's one of the best places on earth to live.
Yeah. And, I think most people don't know, but, you're from the Williams clan.
Yes.
And that family goes way back, right?
Oh, yes. We can go back 175 years. It's amazing. And we just had our Williams family reunion this past Sunday at New Light Church. And of course, Bryson is one of my cousins, Williams cousins. We had a lot of people there. We didn't have the turnout like we normally do because we usually have around 100 people, but it was still good to see family that we haven't seen since the pandemic,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, and most of your family, I guess back then was farmers and did farms, and most of it was on the north side of town,
Yes,
Lewisburg Road, North Main Street. You talked about the church out there, and
yes.
that's kind of the Williams area.
Yeah, that's our neck of the woods.
There you go, there you go. Yeah. So I guess I've been here 30 years, 31 this year, and it's been a lot of changes in the last 31 years. But I guess you saw some even before then,
Oh, yes, yes. I can remember when we were annexed into the city of Roseville. Nobody like that.
right?
But, it was a progress and it happened, and, life goes on. The changes are good, whether you embrace them or not. And I think if we look at what's happening in Roseville now to what's happened in the past, yeah, our community is growing in many, many good ways.
Hmm.
Many good ways that attracts a lot of good things to this area that we need.
Yeah, and it's good to have people connected to the community. I think as we grow, it's one of the things I've kind of strived for, and you know me pretty well, Barbara. To try to keep the old town, the new town, keep everybody connected somehow. And I think the chamber does a good job of that too. Having the businesses been here, a long, long time, like Privet Insurance, and
Yes.
then you got the new ones that we do ribbon cuttings on, this month, and you guys do a really good job of keeping the old and the new blended together, and I think we do pretty good with that. And I don't know, do you experience anything different, or how do you experience that?
Well, it's really good to see the new companies, the new businesses come to our area, and they reach out to join the chamber. We love to have that, and we love to celebrate as a chamber. We love to celebrate our businesses. We want to promote you because our chamber wants our businesses to succeed.
Mhm.
And when we promote your business, help you promote your business, that's a good way to do it. And the networking, the connecting with other people, that it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't. Probably most people don't know this, especially they won't hear back then. But your sister was one time the mayor here in Rolesville.
Yes, yes, she was. She was the mayor here in Roseville for many years, and she was the mayor. She was in that building that was torn down not too long ago.
Yeah, I remember, if you go way back, in the 40s, 50s, there was another Williams mayor. Was he kin to you guys, or was that a different clan?
It's quite possible. I don't remember the name, but there's probably three clans of Williamses around Roseville that I know of, and so yes, it's probably one of ours.
Yeah, I think his name was George Williams, but I may be
And
wrong.
we had a family member that was George Williams, and yes, he was a member of our family, the Williams family.
Barbara, I tell you, well, our time is running out already, and we haven't even talked about the things we said we was going to talk about. So let's
We
jump.
need more time.
I know. Let's jump in that real quick, because I do want to talk about the Optimist Club, because that's one of the clubs people hear about it. Some they hear the name, they see it. Some of the towns have a little board out there where you come into town, have a little
Yeah.
symbol, say Optimist Club, different clubs that's there in town. We
Yeah,
don't
and
have
if you
one. Maybe
well,
one
if
day.
you ever get a sign up that we can attach it to, I'll get the sign in tomorrow.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Every time I see one, I go into a town, I say, that's something we need to do, because We do have a lot of organizations, and some of them date real back. I think I was looking at the at the uh, at the Shriners. They call it Masons. I
Yeah.
mean, that goes back into
Oh
1800s,
yeah.
early 1800s here in Rolesville. So
Yeah.
some of these organizations go real back, far back, and I think the Optimist does too, don't it?
Yeah, the first Optimist Club was in 1911 in Buffalo, New York. And we've just grown since. And being a member of the Optimist Club since 1995, I've seen a lot of communities make a lot of difference in the lives of children because our focus is on friend of the youth. And we do a lot of programs that help children that just need help in whatever way. Our club, we're all autonomous in that we get to choose what we focus on. And our club focuses on childhood cancer and childhood illnesses. But we also do a lot of programs that Optimist International offers, which is our oratorical contest and our essay contest. We offer scholarship money for those programs. And, that's a good way to help kids because the cost of college education is astronomical. So
It really
whatever we can do to help kids, that's what we're going to do.
certainly. And you said 1995. I think the date you said, was that
Yes.
a Roseville club or
No, it was in Raleigh.
it was in Raleigh? So when did you get the Roseville
I
branch?
think it was in 2011. I'm not sure. I didn't even look it up. I should have. But we've been in the Roseville area since 2011. That's when we chartered.
Right. So you was a charter member.
Yes.
There you go. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, and I think you mentioned a little bit, but some of the things I have remembered seeing over the years is some of the good work you guys do with scholarships and
Yes.
giving out scholarships and things like that.
Academic scholarships.
Hmm. Yeah, I think didn't y'all do something with the high school one time?
We do every year. We offer them scholarships, educational scholarships through our oratorical and essay contest. But then one year we did a student of the month with the high school here at Roseville. And that entailed is that we would get the teachers to nominate one kid who has really spent the month just focusing on it better and improving themselves. Not that it made them a straight A student, but they strive to come forward a little bit. And we made them student of the month, and we gave them a gift certificate to Bojangles or Sheets or wherever they would go to lunch and stuff, and just recognize them.
Mhm.
And that kept them going forward.
Yeah, it sounds like you have certainly enjoyed it. And I know, I know, I have known the Optimist Club and some of the things, just reading about it and seeing about it. We don't get as much in the newspapers as we used to on things like that. And we kind of miss out unless it's on the social media. You don't hear it too much. But you guys actually meet once a month or how do
We
y'all?
we try to. The pandemic really stopped a lot of personal meetings. We went to Zoom for many, many months, and we still do Zoom for some of our members. But we just had a meeting tonight before this started.
Mhm.
We're working on a car show as a fundraiser. Then that's going to be fun.
Mhm.
It's a fun event, August the 26th. People can come out and bring their cars, and it's just going to be fun. I think it's the first time there's been a car show it's our first. It's our inaugural show, and Mayor, you're going to be there and pick out your car that you want to win.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if you look over my shoulder, I got one of the little flyers up here on the wall to
Yeah.
remind me of it. And I'm kind of excited about that. That's going to be a good event. And these old cars, they people spend a lot of time fixing them up, and they look really nice and
Well,
stuff.
we are in America, and America loves their automobiles.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna pick out. I've had a couple people kind of reaching out, plugging their cars and things, but
And
You know,
that's okay. We love that. We love the enthusiasm, and we just appreciate everybody turning out for the event and showing up with their cars and helping us make money for our childhood cancer programs.
yeah, exactly. So how many club members do you? How many act? You know, I don't know if the Optimist Club is kind of like the church. You know, you can hear a church say they got 600 members, but you know only 30 comes on Sunday or something. But how about the Optimist? How many members do you have, and how many people actually is really active in it? Do you think?
We got about 8 members, and to be real honest with you, about 6 of those are real active in different programs. We've got some of our members are active during the oratorical and essay contest time. Some of our members are very active during their Mile of Hope time. Some of our members are active during our fundraising events. So we pick and choose what we want to do, and we would always enjoy someone helping us and joining us to make a difference in the life of a child. We're always welcome for that.
Yeah, I would think so. And sound like you got a neat little group there. And you know, you kind of pick your passion, right? Is that kind of
Oh
what I was
yeah,
hearing? You
yeah.
pick what you want to work on and kind of your passion.
Well,
So
as volunteers, you got to enjoy what you're doing.
exactly, but I guess it's a little networking there. You know, gives you an opportunity to be involved. So what kind of if a person is interested in joining, what would they do? Would they just come a couple months to fill it out, or how would they go about that?
Well, come to some of our events and volunteer to help us. And if they like doing what we're doing, then they are more than welcome to join the club.
Well, good, good. I think it's a good organization, and you
Yes.
guys do a lot of good things, and um, especially with kids. And, I think I was talking to somebody, one of the other clubs here in town. You know, they focus on giving people money to help them get started in businesses and stuff like that. And that's a good
Yes.
cause. That's a good cause. But really, kids kids is probably one of the most important things there is in life.
It's our future.
Exactly, exactly. Well, thank you for mentioning that. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, before you leave, Barbara, has to do with the chamber, some of the work you do with the chamber. And I think to be a member of the chamber, a really member, you have to have a business. So you're a business person, and maybe describe a little bit, what your business is and your passion for your business. And
Well,
uh,
my business is a pampered chef consultant, cooking with Barbara, and of course, I'm a good old Southerner. I'm one of those people. You put a meal in front of people, and they will come and join you.
mhm.
And Pampered Chef is such a high quality product; it sells itself. People that have Pampered Chef love Pampered Chef, and there's nothing you can do to keep them from getting what they want from Pampered Chef. So it sells itself. It's a high quality product, and it has its own guarantee. And I've been a member as Cooking with Barbara since 2015.
So how long have you been with the chamber? I guess as a member of the chamber, and uh,
Since 2015.
since your business, you got the business,
Yeah.
and you immediately join chamber, which is a smart thing to do. One of the things I try to do, tell
Oh yeah.
people, when they get come into town to have businesses coming into town, it's a lot of benefits to join the chamber. If you got a business, and
Oh yeah.
if you want to network with people, there's no better place to do it.
It is because the big thing about being a part of the chamber is your business to business networking. And it's always a win-win situation when you come to one of our events and you at least meet one person that you didn't know, and they will remember you. And in their conversations, somebody might say something about, well, I need some stuff from Pampered Chef, and then they'll say, oh, you need to contact Barbara. It's just a connection. It's a win-win for everybody.
Mhm. And I know now you work, one of your many functions you have in town, Barbara, One of them is you actually working for the chamber now. You're a employee that works with the chamber.
Yes, I'm blessed to be able to work with the chamber and do all the things. And I love this. This, being among people is, this is what I do. I am a people person. I need people to exist, and being in the chamber is just one of the things. And I know a lot of the people. I know a lot of the people here, and it's fun to see these people on a daily basis and connect with them.
Hmm. Yeah, one of the fun things I think I have fun doing, and I think a lot of people have fun doing, is around the ribbon cutting of the new
Oh
businesses
yeah.
and things. And I think you kind of pull that together in most cases. I think.
Yeah, that's one of my jobs is getting the ribbon cuttings for our new members. If my new members are listening, I still got you on my list. I'm still contacting you to set up a date.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I don't know how you're going to do it because I really think we mentioned about cobblestone, and I think Kathy mentioned that earlier, but also Walbrook. We didn't even mention Walbrook, but
Oh, yeah.
there's new businesses coming on Rogers Road. A couple new buildings there and a couple restaurants and stuff. I don't know how you're going to keep up with the ribbon cuttings, Barbara, if you continue to try to do one for every chamber member. Have you figured that out yet?
Yeah, it's a spreadsheet that works.
Got you. Because it's going to be a lot of them. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a
And
lot
and
of.
that's wonderful because when we celebrate new business here in Roseville, that just tells the community that we are growing in an optimistic way and a very positive way that's going to help our community. We have people that don't want to leave our community to get services. And one of the things we want as a chamber is we want to have all our services here. So if they call me on the phone and say, who does this or where can we go to get this? I can look them up on the chamber and give them their information.
Yeah, I think sometimes you go back to roots. I've been reading a lot about town. The history of Rolesville in the last few months, and we've talked about it some since you've been here forever, and Rolesville goes back into the 1830s.
Oh,
And my
yeah.
understanding of reading history back in the 1830s, people couldn't get around as good as horse and buggy and stuff. And there was a lot of businesses here in Rolesville that really was a commerce area for people that live in the area to come. They didn't go to Raleigh. They didn't go anywhere else. They
Yeah.
came here
Yeah.
because it had it here. But then as cars come out and people could get around quicker and better, and highways and stuff, we kind of lost all that for a while.
It's amazing.
But maybe we'll come back to our roots, and once again, Rolls will be a place where people in the community will
Yeah.
actually come.
If you're fortunate, you'll always have your roots here in Roseville.
Yep. I see Kathy has come back. That's always a sign that she's going to pull the plug on us, Barbara. Uh, so
Oops.
so Kathy, was any questions, or do you have a question? Anything?
I did have one question for you, Barbara. It's a program that I know about through the Optimist Club is when you make the dolls that you guys make for the children. And I think you partner with some of the local schools to do that program. Can you tell the viewers about
Listen,
that?
that's our therapy dolls, and I almost brought one up here, but we make therapy dolls, and these are just the reason we do this is let's talk about this. When you go to the doctor and the doctor says, Kathy, you got so and so, and this is what we're going to do to you. Do you understand what he's saying to you?
Nope.
And the worst thing that a parent can hear from a doctor is about their child is your child has cancer or whatever
Yeah.
type cancer it is. So when you have a child, that has a procedure, we take these dolls and they mark the doll, what's going to happen to them. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's good.
it's just such a wonderful program that you guys do, because think of the comfort that it provides to that child to not only have something tangible, but to also, explain this, visually, this is what's going to happen to me. And it's just,
Yeah.
I can tell the passion that you have
Yeah.
for this program.
Yeah, you got a lot of passion for this, Barbara.
And so we have kids in the Rolesville Elementary School that make care cards that we attach to the dolls. We have kids at the middle school who actually cut out the dolls. And once I get them sewn and brought them back up there, they stuff them. They did that at Wake Forest Elementary School this past year. And we have the high school that does the dolls as well. And our youth leadership, Rolesville, for the past several years, they have taken that project on as one of their community service projects and making the dolls. So yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Mhm. Thank you.
And I just before you leave, Barbara, I want to give a kudos and a huge shout out to Barbara for everything that she does for the Rolesville Chamber of Commerce. She is the glue that holds us all together, and we definitely would not be sitting here without her. So just a huge thank you to Barbara for everything that you do, your tireless work and dedication to make the Rolesville Chamber of Commerce successful. So thank you for being on the show tonight.
Yeah. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
I know I'll see you just probably this weekend somewhere.
That's right.
So thanks, Barbara. Appreciate you coming on the show.
I've enjoyed it.
Thank
Thank you.
Back. I won't see you this weekend because I'm going to see the grandbaby.
Yeah, you're going to see that grandbaby. Yeah. I better not see you at church.
Yeah, I won't see you this weekend for sure.
Okay. Well, have fun, travel safe, and thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Barbara.
Enjoyed having you, Barbara.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kathy.
Appreciate all the hard work you do. Yeah, that was fun. Always enjoyed talking to Barbara. Like I said, I'm thinking probably, we've kind of working out the first meeting there, but I've known her really well for probably about 20 years, and really she does a lot of things around the community for sure.
She's definitely like a walking history of Rolesville. I mean, she's the first person that you need to ask if you want to know anything about Rolesville, or somebody who lives in the community, or about a business. She just has all of that knowledge. So wonderful person. Certainly
Enjoyed having her. And the next guest, it hasn't been here as long as Barbara has, but she has really come to town and made some impacts for sure.
Absolutely. So Sherry Bauer is our next guest. She has been in the town of Rolesville since 2013, and she is going to talk to us about the Backpack Buddies. She is the executive director of Backpack Buddies. She started volunteering there in 2015, and so over the last 7 years, volunteered, and now is the executive director. Sorry, my words aren't coming out. And most people will know Sherry Bauer because of the downtown Rolesville Farmers Market. Every Saturday from April till October, you will see Sherry every Saturday morning right there beside Sonic with all of the vendors, which is a wonderful blessing to the town of Rolesville for Saturday morning, going to get fruits and vegetables or whatever you might need. So she's definitely a mainstay here in Rolesville for that. So Sherry, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah. Great to see you, Sherry. Appreciate it. Yeah, again, I think you're right. You may be the only person that has been guest 2 times.
Twice.
So I think it was last year we had you on the show as a guest, maybe, or maybe it was. I think it may be.
I think it was last year. Yeah.
And you're back again. So if there was a Trivial Pursuit done, a game or something, the answer to it would be Sherry Bauer.
That's me.
The person that did 2 guest shows first. But certainly, I'm certainly good to have you, Sherry, and and appreciate you coming back on the show again and spending some time with. And we're going to talk about a little bit different subject tonight in talking about the backpack buddies. Something, you're sort of like Barbara in many ways. You just do so many things in the community, so many different things in the community. Just a huge ambassador to just anything that needs to be done, any needs that needs to take place. You can almost always see Sherry involved in it, and the Backpack Buddies is one that's been here for a while, I think, and now you have a big involvement with it.
Yeah, they have been around since 2006. And actually, Rolesville Baptist Church started the Backpack Buddies program. The youth pastor there started it in 2006 and with one or two kids, and then it just kind of grew. And in 2011, they became their own 501c3. So needing to make a bigger impact, and it was good for them to kind of branch out. So now we're serving 23 schools and about 2,000 bags a month in the local area.
Yeah. So how did you get involved in it? That's one of the things I try to think about. I think a lot of people want to get involved in things if they ever just break that barrier to get started. And I think for some people it's easier to do it. Evidently, it's easier for you because you do a lot of different things. But how does someone break the barrier and just get involved? How did you get involved with Pack Buddies?
Well, I was a member of the Rolesville Kiwanis Club, and the Kiwanis Club, their mission is to help children. So anything that has to do with children. So our Rolesville Kiwanis Club used to do food drives for Backpack Buddies, and I'm not even sure how we got involved. Somebody had said something about collecting food, and we were like, hey, okay, let's do a food drive at Food Lion. And then we just started doing it like about every 2 to 3 months. And then we would also, as a group, pack. We did like a 1 pack every 2 or 3 months as the Kiwanis group. So that's how I found out about them and kind of got involved. So through the years, I've done those types of things. And then when I started the farmers market, one of the things we do at the farmers market is highlight a nonprofit every week if we can. So the Backpack Buddies has been at the farmers market several times a year doing food drives. So that's kind of how I got involved with them. And then when they needed an executive director, Teresa Paul, who was their wonderful president for a number of years, suggested that I apply for the job, knowing that I enjoyed volunteering for that organization. So that's kind of how I came to be in January the executive director.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned some of those things in there. You do a lot of things with different serving people food. I think is, and it is. That's one of the necessities of life. People got to have it. You can't be healthy if you don't have it. So you Backpack Buddies, and then you've done other things too with the food service security group and those type things.
Yeah, I guess food must be something that just kind of draws me to it. I don't know. Some people like to do animals, and I love animals, but I always kind of come back to trying to feed people. So this was kind of a natural thing for me to kind of jump into. And we are helping so many children, and the kids, if they are hungry, they can't learn and they don't do well in school. So we're trying to bridge the gap. We've got these children that get free and reduced lunches at school, and we give them their food on the weekends. And then over the summer, when we're not doing, like the month of July, we don't really pack bags because there's a transition. The year-round schools are kind of out and then in, and so we're waiting for the schools to kind of get back into the groove and to let us know how many bags they need. So we just gave 200 bags to Wake Forest Community Table because they do program all year long, and they serve meals, I think Mondays and Wednesday nights in Wake Forest, Hope House, and Olive Branch, I think Baptist Church. So while we're not doing the school bags, we're helping another community group feed some people during this time of transition for schools. And then we'll be back at it in August.
Yeah, and you mentioned the kids there, which that's why you do it. That's the important piece, and you
Mhm.
do it kind of discreetly with the kids. It's something that is just not. It's just not something that you don't highlight them for sure.
Right. So they don't actually take backpacks home. I think in the beginning they did, but now we just give them their black plastic bags that we pack the food in. They go to the counselor's office. We have volunteers take them to the counselor's office on Friday mornings, and then Friday after school, as the kids leave, they come and pick up a bag and take it home. So they can either stick it in their backpack or they're taking it home. We do notice that there's a big drop off of kids that we serve from elementary to middle school. And then we don't serve anybody in the high schools, other than we do provide dollars sometimes, like gift cards for like snack closets. But high school students are not going to be wanting to take home bags of food, and that's what happens in the middle school too. The kids kind of shy away from, they don't want to be picked on, or they don't want people to know. So we don't give as many bags to the middle schoolers. So we mostly serve the elementary school population. But I mean, I wish that would change. I wish we could do more for the middle schoolers. But there's only so much that we can do. But if the need is there and they want the help, we would help.
Yeah, and you say it's just so much you can do, but it's a lot that you do. I know, I've helped out once at least, maybe twice, but uh, people don't realize the numbers involved with what you guys do, how many you serve, and what volunteer organization number wise it takes to do that. It's pretty large.
Yeah, we probably have around 400 volunteers on our volunteer rolls. We need people to pack bags on Wednesday nights. We need people to pick up those bags from the pantry on Friday mornings and deliver them to schools. We need people to do food drives. We have what we call porch communities. So porch communities, that's like a nationwide organization, and where a whole community will band together to serve one nonprofit, and so they call them porch communities. So we have two. We have Porch Heritage and Porch Bedford. Those communities once a month put out a call for a specific food item, or just that, saying we need to restock our pantry. So people in the community will put that food out in a bag on their porch. And then once a month, the volunteer will go out and pick up all the stuff, and then they bring it to the pantry. So then we need volunteers to come and help us sort through it and get it put in our bins so that we can pack the bags. But we get thousands of pounds of food every year from those communities. We're looking for maybe one or two more. We're trying to gear up and get a couple more. We're going to need more food donations this year. The need is going to be up. We're looking, obviously we look for donations, grants, dollar matches for companies, anybody that works for a company that matches. We found out this year that Cisco and Merck both do donation matches for their employees. We got a large check from the Redwood Group, which is an insurance company. They match dollars and volunteer hours. So if any of their employees do volunteering, they will match hours and dollars. So we got a large donation from them, which was very unexpected and very welcome. And we're so grateful for people. And it was one of our volunteers who put us in for that grant through her company. So that's kind of how we are able to do all this with, the volunteers that we have.
Yeah, it sounds like you have to have more and more food, more people, more help, and maybe you don't know the numbers of this, but you may have a feel for it. When you look at the schools, I guess in the northern Wake County here, where's the penetration? Do we have most of the schools covered, or is there still areas that we don't have covered?
Well, we have quite a few covered. There's not too many that we don't do some meals for. We even have some of the charter schools, and I'm trying to think. We've got North Raleigh schools, Zebulon, Wake Forest, Rolesville, and then we have a couple schools in Nightdale that we support with gift cards. They do all the food buying and the bag packing, but we support them with a gift card. We're working on having a remote pantry in Zebulon because we serve 3 schools currently in Zebulon, and we know that there might be a school in Wendell that needs help. So in order for us to expand, we need to have some other places, pantries that will help us pack, where we help with the money and the food at purchasing, but they provide the volunteers and the space to do the packing. So we're working on a remote pantry in Zebulon right now. So they'll take 3 schools off of our plate at our Rolesville pantry, and then we can then pick up extra bags or kids or schools in, closer to here. So that's kind of, we're kind of shifting, I guess, but there's definitely going to be more of a need.
Yeah, I think you once told me, whenever you got something like this, that it can be as large as you want to make it to be, because need is always going to be there. One of the biggest needs is money, and you kind of explained, about the organization, and I think the point about giving, a lot of people don't know this, but you need to check with the company. Sometimes they do match every dollar you give to a group. They will match it, which is doubles your gift, really.
Yep.
So that's a good thing. So money is a big thing, but what's the other? You just need more volunteers. Is that true?
We can always use volunteers. If you go onto our website, which is just newbackpackbuddies.org, you can sign up to be a volunteer, and there's all different types of things on there, as an individual or as a business, ways that you can volunteer to help pack, to be a driver, to pick up food donations, to come and sort the food donations that we get, like for the porch packs and stuff during the week. And then, if you want to host a food drive, we would be happy to have people host food drives, put a box at your business to do food collections. We would have somebody come and pick it up once a month, or, every couple of weeks, or something like that. So anything that anybody can do to help us get the food in the door. The dollars help us to buy the food when we don't get the donations. So, they're both equally important.
Certainly. It's a really good cause. And, I remember when it first started, it was just 1 or 2 schools, right?
They started with 1 school, I think just Rolesville Elementary School, and then it just kind of snowballed.
Yeah, I think Jeff Pethel was his name. That was the youth minister, and just saw a need there and started. And, he's moved away. I think he lives down on the coast of South Carolina, I think, down there, but doing youth pastor work down there. But it's just amazes how it has grown, but it's grown just because there's a big need in it, right? It's a really big need in this, or it would be what it is.
Yes. Yep. And I would love for us to be able to help more children. So the bigger that we grow, the more dollars we get in and the more food, the more children we can serve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I want to talk to you a little bit more about the downtown, farmers market here in Rolesville. I always enjoy talking about that because we get a lot of things from there, and enjoy coming. You've this year you've kind of, I guess, that has grown, right? It looks bigger to me than it has in the past with the different.
We are doing pretty well with an average of 20 to 25 vendors a week. When we have special events like with the chamber or our opening day, we're going to be doing an event with the police department in September to promote their national night out. So when we do special events like that, we can have upwards of 45 to 50 vendors. We have a business Saturday where we invite businesses that aren't actually vendors that sell, products that they make, but we want to bring those businesses to the farmers market for people in the community to see them, and that somebody that they may not have visited before or know about their business, they can find them at the market. So we enjoy having those types of events too. And then we have big plans for next year. So
yeah, I mean, I think the purpose is to go and buy, vegetables and, fruit and things, but it's a good place to hang out. I guess you just have some people come up there to hang out on Saturday morning.
We do have some that stay for quite a while when they shop around and they get to know. We've got lots of regulars. But we want it to be a place for the community to gather. So that's why we try and have music and we have food. We're trying to grow that a little bit. And it's just, we want to support all of the entrepreneurs in the area. We have children that have businesses. So we love to have the kids come up to the market and sell. Like this weekend, we have Gabe's gourmet popcorn, the little, the home yoga studio, and Wineberry. It's her son, and she's been up there. She's been a supporter of the market, and Gabe started selling his popcorn. So Baking Lively had the weekend that we had WPTF radio station out. She had 3 children up there. She was sponsoring them, their booths, and they had a variety. Some of them made food, baked goods. A couple of them made jewelry, and there was a kid that did tie-dye stuff. So, and they did really well. They sold quite a bit of stuff that weekend. So it was, we love to support people starting their businesses. We've got a lot of retired people that just have hobbies and want to sell stuff, and gets them out and gets them into the community. And it's great. We have a great group of people up there, and I just love every one of them.
Yeah, it's always fun to come up there for sure. And I've been told several times by people, don't never have a favorite, because if you have a favorite, then you making somebody mad, or you just don't never say it. But I'm gonna have to say that right now, my favorite is the homemade ice cream guy and his wife and 2 kids. Is it Grandpa or Granny's ice cream?
Granny Crump's cream. And
Granny?
yes, they have done fabulously. And they actually sold their ice cream on the 4th of July. And
They did.
they sold out. They sold out their ice cream on the 4th of July. And I'm so proud of them. They did so well. Just, they didn't know what when they started this, they had no idea that it would take off. And it did. And they do really well.
They did. And I'm going to have to say it, and I may get beat up a little bit on it, but right now, they are my favorite. If you haven't had their homemade ice cream, and they do every one they make it themselves. I mean, they actually.
They buy stuff from the market. So their they buy the pecans from one of our, or pecans, however everybody says it. They buy that from one of our vendors. They get peaches from me to do their peach ice cream. So they try and buy local stuff to put in their ice cream as well. Yeah,
the peach is one of my favorites, I think. The butter pecan is pretty good too that they had. And then they're local. They live right across the street there from the farmer's market. But they actually make it there and make it, and it's very good. It's so many good little neat things that goes on there on Saturday morning. I would say if anybody has not come, it's well worth their time to just come and hang out for a while. If you don't want to buy anything, just come out and hang out. I think you got to buy the ice cream though, especially if it's hot. You got to buy the ice cream for sure.
Yeah,
everybody loves ice cream.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, I see Kathy's back, Sherry, so that's not a good sign.
No, I've really enjoyed listening to you guys. I just had one question about Backpack Buddies. So is this a North Carolina program, Wake County program, nationwide? Like, what's the original roots of this program?
So I'm not sure. There are multiple programs that are called Backpack Buddies. And some of them actually are backpacks with school supplies. So if you Google just Backpack Buddies, you'll find several different things, but there are, we are not affiliated with anyone else. There are churches that do Backpack Buddy programs. The Junior League of Raleigh, I think they have their own, Interfaith Food Shuttle has their own. And they serve schools in different areas. So we're not really affiliated with anyone, but there are lots of Backpack Buddy programs, I think, across the country. I'm sure it's, they may call them different things, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of places have groups that will help serve these children that are food insecure.
Yeah, and I think it's a nonprofit, right, Sherry?
We are a nonprofit, yep. So all your donations are tax deductible.
Yeah, and it has a board of directors, and it's a private run nonprofit. company. So
yeah, and our board of directors they're a working board, so they run the organization for I mean, we've got volunteer coordinator, the secretary and treasurer and all that, but we have we are actually going to be needing a student board person on our board now. Our student board director has resigned, and so we are going to be looking for somebody to help. So if there's anybody out there that likes to work with students, you work with the students from grade 9 through 12, and they're all schools from kids from all these different schools in the area. But we will be looking for a new person to fill that position. But yeah, our board members are phenomenal, and we do all the work, and we are able to keep things going, and so they are the bones of this organization, and without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Sherry, it's been a pleasure having
Yeah.
you on the show tonight. And everybody, in 2 days will be a Saturday, so please go out and see Sherry at the downtown Rolesville Farmers Market, right beside Sonic, across from Rolesville Elementary. And if you do want to volunteer, the chamber did it one day to go in and pack
back, yeah. Yeah.
For the children. I mean, it's something that is great for groups to go out and do together.
Yes.
Team building. So it's fun, and you're actually doing good for your community in the process. So I would definitely reach out to Sherry if that's something that you're interested in doing.
Yep.
Yeah, I certainly enjoyed talking to you, Sherry, as always. And I had other stuff I was going to ask you about. I know I was going to try to figure out the vision you got going forth for what you do at the downtown farmers markets. I think you got some visions of stuff. We'll just have to do that on another time. So
okay. I'll do it again.
All right, Sherry, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Bye. Well, it was great. Time flies. I mean, it really goes by quick. And
it does.
And
so I just wanted to talk about some events coming up. This is both through the chamber as well as town events.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that we have is a lunch and learn. It's Tuesday the 18th between 12 and 1. Tisha Lowe is going to talk about business solutions. Our next event is Rolesville Chamber of Commerce Business After Hours, July 27th. That's at 5:30 at Granite Falls Swim and Athletic Club. We have Launch Rolesville. Deadline for applications to be a part of Launch Rolesville is July 31st. Next, we have the Thorn to Rose 5K. This is their second annual 5K event. It is taking place right here in Rolesville. It starts at Rolesville Park. This is a great organization that brings awareness and support and therapy for abuse. So a wonderful organization. Next, we have the golf tournament. It's September 28th. It'll be at Heritage Golf Club. Starts at 12 o'clock registration with a shotgun start at 1. That same evening on the 28th is the night out, national night out with the police department. That's going to be at Bailey's, I believe. Free hot dogs and hamburgers, soda, DJ, things for the kids. They always have public safety tips. The kids can go on some of the either a fire engine, they can go on an EMT vehicle. They've got different things out there for the kids. That's from 5 to 8 vendors. So a family fun event. Let's see, October 7th. Oh, Fall Fest, October 28th. That's through the town of Rolesville, the Fall Fun Fest. Mayor, maybe you want to say a few words about this event and.
Yeah, this is always a fun event. It's usually the 28th of October. It's usually the Saturday before Halloween. And it's not really a Halloween event. It's more like a fall event. But I think there is some Halloween costumes and stuff and some games and things around there. But this has always been a great turnout for people in the community that comes to the fall fun Fest event, and this is a year that I think will have a lot of people turning out. So if you can put this date on your calendar, and we'll see you in Rolesville.
Wonderful. So save the date for the Fall Fun Fest. We have another save the date, which is October 7th. This is the Barbecue Bands Festival. It's been a couple of years since we've been able to host this event, so we're super excited about hosting this event again in Rolesville from 10 to 4. So this is a family-friendly event. Come out, eat some barbecue, listen to some great bands, and just have a really good time right here in the town of Rolesville. And our last event to save the date on is our Christmas parade, which is Sunday, December 3rd, and that is in downtown Rolesville. So great things coming up, Ronnie.
It is. The year's going by fast, and it's going to continue to go by pretty fast for sure. And thanks for highlighting that. I don't think it's any other avenue that really highlights everything like you do here, and appreciate you doing that. And it'd be good. It's good community service. So thank you. And the chamber does a good job. The last thing I will say, we are running out of time quickly here, is next month's show, August 11th. I got a couple good guests coming on. And, with all these events we see, one of the great attended things in the fall here in Rolesville, because we really got a good program, is the high school football Rams out at the high school. I think they started practicing the 1st of July. I think is the practice start date. So I'm sure they're working pretty hard on that, and usually they have a really good team. And they got a new coach this year. Rainer Rackley is the new coach. I think he was assistants there for a while. I got him coming on the show next week. Very excited. I met him a few times. Great talk to. If anybody can listen in, if you got some free time next month, be sure you listen in, because he's gonna have some good things. I hope I can get him to give me a prediction on how well they do
on the season. Yes, that would be great. And so again, that is going to be on Thursday night, August 11th, correct? From 7 to 8.
August, is it 11th or the 10th? I was thinking it was the 10th, but you may be right about that. My memory don't serve me well. And the other guest is really.
You are correct. Your memory's better than mine, Ronnie. So Thursday, August the 10th from 7 to 8 o'clock. Tune in again for the Mayor Show.
And the other guest, which I'm kind of excited. I don't know her that well. Just meet her recently. Her name is Alicia Kozak, and she has a story that is really amazing. And I won't tip off too much. I want people to kind of listen to her. And but for kids, she had a bad event happen to her when she was 14 years old. Actually, maybe she was almost 13, 14 years old. And she's worked for the last 20 years in trying to educate kids about that, and does a tremendous job. She has a lot of passion too. So So I'm really excited to have her on and learn more about what she's got going on, because she's like I said, she's worked on it for a long time, and there's no other better thing than try to protect the safety of children.
Children, yeah. Well, that's a great lineup, Ronnie. So for those listening, thank you for being with us tonight for the Mayor Show, and we will see you on August the 10th.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks.